They've won 36 straight non-conference games here at Hilton Coliseum. And the opening tip controlled by Iowa State, wearing their Cardinal uniforms with gold numbers. And for Grambling State, they're black with gold numbers trimmed in red. Underneath to Jefferson, right away. Joshua Jefferson gets the opening bucket.
Total different look. Taman Lipsey popping from the elbow to catch that ball to go high-low to Jefferson. Haven't seen that yet this year from the Cyclones.
So Grambling State shot 46% in their opener. They'll be trapped in the corner. Torre causing the turnover, and what a defender he is.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's the one thing that he can really do on the ball, but right there it was the trap, and the trap has already come hard for the Cyclones. So the very first possession from Grambling State, what they did not want to see.
Your officials tonight: Kip Kissinger, Brooks Wells, and Brett Smith. Momchilovich underneath, Buchanan with the flush.
Getting the ball up the floor quick, getting it up the sideline, and then when Grambling State leaves the lane to help, nobody on the backside for that dunk from Buchanan.
So Iowa State, what TJ Otzelberger wanted to see was his team be more sound offensively and just toughness. They've shown it on the opening two possessions.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we talked about Trey a little bit already. He can get his forearm on somebody and length with that other arm better than about anybody who's seen her early this season.
Momchilovich from deep. And Lipsey with the offensive board. Here's Torre. And we'll see a foul called up front. This goes against Antonio Munoz.
Yeah, and you have to. You know, you have Momchilovich coming off the 7-3 night and the 29 points. You got to close hard on him. So Momchilovich, great job of wiping and going right there and drawing the contact and the foul.
So out on the floor for Iowa State. Have their starting five of Momchilovich, Lipsey, Jefferson, Torre, and Buchanan. And a foul away from the ball. This is going to be against Roderick Coffey III.
Yeah, Cyclones working middle of the floor on that one. Little screen and roll and get the foul.
So Lipsey will pitch it up top to Momchilovich. Buchanan to Jefferson. The skip pass nearly picked off. Shot clock winding down inside of 10. Jefferson shot not there. Buchanan can't get the follow through. They did get a reset of the shot clock, but a steal here by Ward. So Grambling State trying to get their first bucket and first shot off. Underneath, they work it hard to Jones, but he's denied.
Didn't get anything there. Darius Ward tried to get to that right hand off the ball screen. Cyclones won't let it happen. He loves hunting shots with that right hand.
Momchilovich to Torre. The reverse. Not there.
Yeah, Devin Franklin, good job cleaning up the defensive board. Now they got to get away from some ball pressure here with some back cuts, some ball screens to get open. They have to be able to get something to loosen up the Cyclone defense.
Ward on the penetration. Coffey looked to pull up and does. Off the mark is Lipsey, fighting for the rebound. He'll be tied up with by Darius Ward. And possession arrow will keep it with Grambling State.
Yeah, and you see what the Cyclones think of Darius Ward. The second he put that ball on the floor and starts driving it, they are in there digging at that basketball and helping with us. They know he can drive and get to the rim, so they're going to definitely give some help on him.
What a resume for TJ Otzelberger. 5th season at Iowa State. They'll go to the high post, the turnaround. Devin Franklin, who just checked in, finds the bucket.
Yeah, 6 points, but in the exhibition, or I'm sorry, their first real game, 14 rebounds. So driver first, made a jump shot there.
Yeah, shot 33% in that game. Nate Heise into the contest for Iowa State. Here's Jefferson trying to work the block. Iowa State able to reverse it. Now they find Buchanan on the cut, can't finish. And the Tigers come up with a rebound.
Yeah, good drive, good cut, no finish.
And a steal here by Heise.
Yeah, once again, the double team causing problems for the Grambling State Tigers.
Jefferson has it knocked away. It'll stay with Iowa State. 21 on the shot clock. The Cyclones back to their bench as Eric Mulder, the 6'9 senior from Oskaloosa, will come into the game for the first time. Also, Taman Lipsey back out on the floor. He'll spell Killian Torre.
Yeah, Mulder walking on the floor of leading the country last year at 78% from the field at Fort Wayne.
Momcilovic in the paint, goes to his left. Heise, Mulder, and gets denied. Iowa State with 3 on the shot clock. Momcilovic can't find the bucket. And there's a scrum for the ball. Grambling State will end up with it. Iowa State now 2 of their first 9 shots from the field. Well, Grambling State shooting right at 25%, 1 of 4.
Yeah, neither team coming out of the gate real hard offensively, making a bunch of baskets, but Iowa State defensively really doing a good job, but Grambling State hanging in on the defensive end. Franklin
caught up top. Shot clock winding down, will fire. Can't get it to fall, and the rebound of the weak side to Jamel Lane. And there's going to be a whistle as he attacked the basket. So that'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. 15:26 to play here in the opening half. Iowa State leads the veterans that are being recognized out on center court. It's always part of the tradition. Iowa State, the last several years, have done a Veterans Day type of game to honor those that have served. And that's just right around the corner. We thank those who have served and given so much to us.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You know, there's been a lot of standing ovations in Hilton Coliseum. That's the first one here tonight, and much deserved.
All right, the cold shooting, 4 of 2. Iowa State with a lead, but shooting just 2 of 9 from the floor. Getting some good looks, but a lot of contested looks. Grambling State's done a pretty good job.
Yeah, they've done a really good job. They've put Iowa State late in shot clocks a couple times. Iowa State tried to make a couple extra passes for that, maybe not a good look, but for a great look. Maybe hasn't been on the money yet, so the ball's not popping as crisp as it has been in their couple exhibition games, and then, of course, in the last game against FDU. So look for that to get cleaned up, but they also like to score off of their defense, and they haven't done that yet. So look for that double team to start taking a little bit of an effect here and see if Iowa State can get into transition.
Now Iowa State shooting 55% in the win against FDU. Richard Amafole into the contest, number 10 there for Grambling State, appearing in his first contest of the season. He did not play in the win against Houston Tillotson on Monday, and what an impact he's had. Transfer from Texas Wesleyan, listed at about 6'8", and gives them some extra length as Jamel Lane able to knock down the free throw. There's the head coach, Patrick Prairie, first year at Grambling State. Last year coached at Florida A&M and stayed in conference when the opening was there.
And he's got to be ecstatic about the start. Iowa State usually jumps some people with their defense. It's a size and athleticism that you can't replicate in practice, but they've done a good job of being able to control some things.
Jefferson will bring it ahead. There's Lipsey. And shot clock again inside of 10. And a timeout going to be taken here by Iowa State with 7 on the shot clock. And 10 of the first 13 games for Grambling State are on the road. All right, shot clock at 7. Iowa State looks to inbound it. Heise, Mulder, Lipsey, Jefferson, and Momcilovic. Here's Lipsey to Momcilovic for 3.
Jamel Lane, one thing you don't want to do, even if it's late in the shot clock, if someone can contest Lipsey coming off that ball screen, maybe do that and stay with Momcilovic in the corner. They helped in, pitched out, 3 got up and in.
Looking to drive it, Devin Franklin, who just checked in at that last whistle. Sets it up top for Ward. Inside of 10, again on the shot clock. A steal by Heise. Iowa State with numbers. Mulder can't get the bucket. Jefferson's putback is good.
Yeah, first time the defense has led to offense right there for the Cyclones.
Cyclones with 2 steals. And you see the points off of those turnovers. And a blocking foul going to be called on Iowa State. This goes against Mulder.
Yeah, with his size and length, Mulder can really guard off of those ball screens. Just didn't quite get his feet set on that, but he can get out and help with those guards for a while until the guard can get back in the play coming off of that ball screen.
Blake Buchanan back out on the floor. Also checking in for the first time is the 6'5" senior transfer Dominic Nelson. Played at Utah Valley last season, and a steal by Lipsy. He'll look to attack.
Oh.
What a move and a fake.
Good ball fake right there. Damon Lipsy. Fake a pass. Take it to the rim, and he'd got to jump. It was a 4-on-1. He had all kinds of options.
What a ball fake. Watch it.
Ball fake. Yep. Yeah, you got to play inside out defensively. Maybe take Taman and at least make him make a pass, which is going to have a possibility of not going in. But I'll tell you what, 4-on-1. They've now scored twice off of their defense, which forces the timeout.
Timeout taken here by Grambling State. 11-3 Iowa State. Now on a 7-0 run over the last 53 seconds. And it's been a while since Grambling State has hit a shot from the field just over 3 minutes.
Yeah, that is true. And to think about it, Iowa State, they haven't run anything fancy offensively. They haven't done anything different down there. Not that they've been great on the half court, but defensively, the double teams coming off of the ball screen, stripping one from behind, that's what's gotten them into transition to get this 7-3 run.
So some full court pressure by Iowa State. As Coffey able to finally receive that ball to bring it ahead, but nearly 12 seconds go off the shot clock. Coffey hitting the cutter, and Grambling State can't buy a bucket as Jefferson is guarding the hoop. Here's Heisey. And a rebound to Udalib. Coffey caught up in a double team up high. Able to find his teammate Munoz, who tries to hit the cutter, and a foul going to be called on Buchanan. That's a hard foul, as hitting the deck was Devin Franklin.
Yeah, good pass by Munoz, but I'll tell you what, as good as a pass as it was, really the catch and the finish by Munoz here is fantastic. Yeah, Buchanan is going up there to contest that, and he caught it and finished that, like you said, taking a big hit.
Killian Torre back out on the floor.
Why was it so wide open in the back? Grambling State split the double team at about 40 feet when Iowa State's playing up looking for steals, got out of it and made one more pass. So really it's that hockey pass that led to the assist to the basket.
Franklin able to connect on the free throw. 5-point contest. Iowa State going through a lot of different lineups out on the floor.
Well, they're small right now. You probably have Heisey really playing the 4. Torrey might have to guard the 4 a little bit, but Heisey right now is the 4. So they're spread out and playing around Buchanan right now, 4-on-1, or 4 around 1, excuse me.
Torrey able to keep the possession. And now Iowa State will turn it over as Heisey's called for steps.
Yeah, another late possession right there. They've gotten up a couple shots. One for a made 3 by Momcilovic, but a turnover and a travel on that one. Iowa State's gone small, maybe trying to match Grambling State because they have good size 1 through 4. They like to switch everything up top just to try to keep the ball in front.
That's one of the things that Patrick Curry did, was recruit length. First couple of days on the job as the roster got turned over. And he said that, you know, it's normal to try to go find 7 different players every year with the transfer rules now. Rebound to Nelson. Dominic driving and drawing contact.
Yeah, Dominic Nelson right there, north to south player. He got by somebody about half court, turned it on a little bit, but then he turned on the Jets right about the nail at the free throw line, right, and got right into the paint to get the foul to go to the line. So good play, Nelson.
Richard Umafule picking up the foul. Nelson now 1 out of 3 from the free throw line to start the season.
Yeah, you remember the WAC Player of the Year at Utah Valley. So had a fantastic year, 14 points, but really just kind of stuffed that stat sheet all the way across. Always has something about every category. So look for a lot of great things for him. It's going to take him a little while to get going here at this level, but he's more than capable of doing that. We know his north to south speed. Now he's got to find out how he settles in and does everything else that Iowa State loves to hang their hat on.
Able to connect there. Dominicus Plata into the game for Iowa State. And a steal by Torre. And finish!
Torre can do it on that end. He can defend without fouling like crazy because he just lives for that.
And now will be a call for a foul.
And the second I say defend without fouling, he does foul. He took it in the chest pretty well, but I think a good call there by Brooks Wells.
It's going to be the 4th team foul. Brooks Wells thinking maybe there's a little too much contact there.
Yeah, I was, and maybe not quite where he was supposed to be. I said good call by Brooks Wells. I'm not sure Hilton Coliseum thought good call by Brooks Wells. There's a big difference.
Munoz will drive and dish. How about that? Ricky Ballard, who just checked into the game, gets the bucket.
Yeah, and a great job by Ballard just showing his hands because his help defense came over. No one rotated down. Just ready to catch and finish as quick as you can before Iowa State can get their length back on you.
Grambling State sticking to the man-to-man defense. Lipsy shakes his defender and finishes.
Yeah, he can put his body on you. He can score with traffic. He can score it going wide open. He just had all kinds of options, and he always seems to choose the correct one.
The ball handling skills on display tonight for Taman Lipsy again. Coffey will hand off to Munoz. In the paint, Munoz, the kick out the 3. Good as it's flushed from the corner by Jamil Mutalib.
Yeah, and scouting report on him, no open looks, be there on the catch, and they drove it, helped off, caught it, feet set, bottom of the net. Really good play right there.
Grambling State, the Tigers within 5. The skip pass to Heisey. The answer, not there. Munoz with the rebound.
One thing defensively about Grambling State, they just got to worry about playing hard and keeping the ball in front.
What a pass and what a finish by Jones as Munoz able to find Randarius Jones as he was cutting to the bucket.
Yeah, middle third of the floor open. Doesn't happen very often against these Cyclones, so great play, Grambling State.
But this a one possession game and a near steal by the Tigers, and now a foul here on Iowa State.
Cyclone fans.
Entrepreneurial University of the Year for the Americas. At Iowa State.
There is a short run on shoestrings because he is breaking some ankles out here tonight with some looks and finishes.
Yeah, no doubt about that. He had some players coming on that last one for a 4-on-1 break for a great ball faking to finish. The one before that one drove to the left baseline. Little help from his friend, so to speak. Dominica's play that really helped on that by walling off his man on the backside. He could not get to help side, so he could just walk it in after he beat his man.
Hey, 16-13 Iowa State with a one-possession lead here as Antonio Munoz will rise and fire and hit. That's a 2, and it's a 1-point game here.
Ended up playing Dominicus on that one because he really helped Long off that ball screen, so he can take the big and do kind of what he wants to out there with him.
Halfway through the first half. Into the game, this is Jamarian Bateman, can't hit the shot. And the rebound comes down to Coffey.
Yeah, they're coming right back with Munoz handling the basketball. They like what happened last possession.
And Munoz is going to be fouled here by Jefferson.
Yeah, you know, talk about Antonio Munoz here for a second. Freshman, Chicago, Illinois, Whitney Young, classic basketball power. He's a driver first, can't give him the point, but he has no fear. Can shoot the 3, and what is he? As an 18-year-old, he's a high major athlete, so he's matching up right now athletically on anybody who guards him.
We have a tie game. Let's catch up with Abby Altman.
Yeah, listening in on the Iowa State huddle, head coach Otzelberger talked about rebounds. He said, you guys started this game getting every offensive rebound, and you need to get back into that. The coaching staff also said that everything you've worked on so far comes into play tonight, and they need to show it on the court.
Munoz able to connect on both. He has 4. And how about this? Grambling State with a 1-point advantage here on the Cyclones.
Yeah, really good response from the 9-2, from the 9-3 run, whatever it was from Iowa State. So good response here by Grambling.
Here's Jefferson at the high post. He'll square and kick. The 3 by Bateman.
And that's where Jefferson loves to play. Middle of the floor, elbow, goes to work. When that double team comes, kick it out, and Bateman right there, Johnny on the spot with feet set.
Cyclones with 2 threes so far. That's their 600th straight game in which they've hit on a 3-point shot.
Right idea by Munoz on that play, just a bit hurried. But great play. Let's see if Iowa State comes right back to that set again. The ball in Joshua Jefferson's hands in the middle of the floor usually ends up good things for Iowa State. And Grambling State, I think, showing a little bit of zone here.
Yeah, coming with a different look. Bateman will fire and hit.
And we'll just do that again. That's back-to-back. Now he's both catch and shoot, both times feet are set, both times bottom of the net. So maybe finding a little bit of a shooting acumen for Jamarian Bateman.
Not bad for the freshman Munoz. Tries to get the answer back on this end. Can't get it. Buchanan with the board.
Buchanan, big board there. Trying to find him more minutes. He's been in foul trouble in a couple exhibitions and also in that first game against FDU.
Jefferson calling for the ball. The kick out. Bateman can't get this one. And Lipsy will get the offensive rebound. Here's Momcilovic. Got his pocket picked by Coffey. Out ahead. Here come the Tigers. And a charge will be called against Grambling State and Roderick Coffey.
Good hustle back by Bateman. Another probably pretty good call by Brooks Wells for calling him out. We better give a couple other officials their due tonight.
Bateman, in the minute and a half that he's been in here, has made a huge impact.
Yeah, when you're making threes and taking charges, there's nothing wrong with that. Those things can buy you playing time. I think Grambling State went right back to man after that wide open 3 against the zone.
Cyclones reverse. Here's Momcilovic.
Can't lose him in transition. You can't lose him against double teams, and you definitely can't lose him in ball screens. You have to account for him all the time. Feet set because he's going to be aggressive coming off looking for that 3.
Milan coming off of a game in which he shot a career high 70% from 3-point range. Has hit 2 so far out of his 4 that he's taken. Still running at a high clip. Jefferson, the kick out. Lipsy for 3. And the rebound comes down to Darius Ward.
Yeah, good play Jefferson, just short Lipsy.
Looks like we got a whistle away from the ball. There was some posturing underneath the basket, and a foul will be called here on Iowa State. That'll lead us to a timeout on the floor. Iowa State by 8. You're watching Big 12 basketball here on ESPN+.
A job turnover coming into a new place. You're probably bringing back about 2 or 3 or 4, and you're bringing in 9 new ones. So the script has flipped a little bit for him right now. Coach Curry this year, next year might settle in a little bit better, but the recruiting calendar a little bit shorter, trying to find a player a little bit shorter, trying to get to know him well enough that you can trust him in your program, and vice versa, a little bit shorter. But the script they really need to flip right now, because Iowa State has turned it up, is points off of turnovers. Right now it's 14-2 in favor of Iowa State, and that's what's gotten his lead back out to 7.
At the line with Richard Umafole, and he's able to connect on the free throws as Grambling State in the bonus. As Iowa State has 7 fouls. Here's Buchanan with the lead out, and a foul by Umafole, and a hard foul on Buchanan.
And Grambling State shocked the Cyclones a little bit there on that full court pressure right after the free throw.
Buchanan to the line, his first free throws of the season. Is there a draft in here?
I'm not following that. I'm not following up that comment. I don't know. Well, if it is, it's left to right. I know that.
Okay. And that one can't get the roll. The tip up not there. Buchanan with the follow up though.
Yeah, but it got Buchanan going from right to left. He got in there from the free throw line and followed that up. Really great play. Didn't give up on it.
There's the follow up you were looking for.
That's
right?
that one I'll follow up on.
Darius Ward hits the baseline jumper.
Now that's a tough shot. Looked like you know what you're doing there. Coming off that ball screen, dragging it out, and then fading away a little bit from the baseline, making it hard to get to. That's a tough shot to get to.
6-point advantage here for Iowa State. Izzy rolling it into Buchanan. Like rolling to his left, can't get the shot to fall. And this one will belong to the Tigers.
Yeah, he got that one up there and he chased it down. Couldn't quite grab it. And again, Iowa State going 4 around 1 with Buchanan. Momcilovic being 1, he's a little bit more of a natural 4 than what they had earlier. But usually if you're going to go 4 on 1, sometimes they'll do that with Jefferson because of his skill level.
Devin Franklin back out onto the floor for Grambling State. He's joined by Jamil Mudalib. And running the point right now is Antonio Munoz.
Yeah,
had some moments here in the first half.
No doubt about it. The freshman from Whitney Young really has shown a lot.
And a rebound here by Momcilovic. And nearly taken away by Franklin, and will be last touched by Grambling State.
Yeah, great hustle, Devin Franklin right there. And hustler, scrapper, rebounder, 14 rebounds in the last game. I'm sure 14 just didn't fall to him. He had to go get a fair number of those.
Here's Buchanan attacking and finishing.
Got that one. Toure advanced it up. He's not messing around with that. No one's going to get to me on this one, he said.
So out on the floor, you've got Toure, Nelson, Heisey, Momcilovic, and Buchanan for Iowa State. For Grambling State, it's Ward, Amafule, Mudalib, Munoz, and Franklin.
Yeah, Buchanan out and back much faster on that ball screen than earlier.
Franklin, a high arcing shot, can't get the ball. Heisey with the board. Here's Nelson at the top of the key. Trying to hit Toure on the runner. It'll be turned over.
Yeah, tough pass on the run right there. Small window, a lot of hands.
You see the turnover numbers. We're nearing the 5-minute mark here in the first half, and the reverse layup by Ward as he's able to drive and finish.
Yeah, right down the gut on that one too. Right down that middle third of the paint. Iowa State doesn't give that up a lot. Really good play by Darius Ward.
Yeah, he's got 4 right now. Had 7 in the opener. Momcilovic picked up his dribble. Milan looking for some contact. Now Nelson certainly will get it as he drives to the hoop, and Amafule will pick up the foul.
And that's a little more of the north-south we talked about with Nelson. He just gave a quick little ball and head fake and got back to his left hand and to the rim for the foul.
Ricky Ballard back out onto the floor here for Grambling State. Iowa State they have 3 at the scores table ready to check in after the free throw here by Dominic Nelson. 16 fouls on Grambling State.
Yeah, Iowa State going to try keeping the depth coming at you with waves, trying to wear you down, getting that defense to have a cumulative effect. Maybe not late in this half, but maybe early to mid, and then definitely late in that second half, just to kind of keep on you, and then we'll see what Grambling State can do. How do they respond? Can they handle it over long periods of time? Time will tell, but they've done so far a pretty good job.
Plata, Jefferson, and Lipsy back out onto the floor for Iowa State. So it's Nelson at the line. Also out there is Toure. And Nelson able to hit 1 out of 2 on that trip.
Yeah, a little bit more of your traditional lineup here with your 4-5 with Jefferson and Plato on this one.
So Ward controlling it for the Tigers. Picked up his dribble and tries to hit the cutter. Nelson with the steal. Dominic to Lipsy to Plata.
Wasn't sure how that was going to happen. The ball was ping-ponging around a little bit, but Johnny on the spot played got the pass with a little tip from Lipsy.
I was about ready to say, are you surprised how physical this game has been as Randarius Jones?
No, I'm not surprised, because we've seen Iowa State, we've seen what they do, and Grambling State, how they switch and how they play, and here's just a little ping pong back and forth. Got it to finish. Johnny on the spot, like I said, Domenico's Plato. But no, I'm not, because Grambling State will switch and try to keep you in front and fight you to keep out of that lane.
Jones picks up the foul, player control foul, so Iowa State has the possession. And now we're going to see something away from the ball. An illegal screen going to be called on Iowa State, so that'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. 3:58. What's the weather like? You're indoors.
Yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that. But when you're down there, it's a little warmer just walking around.
Yeah.
He was probably wondering what to pack.
Yes, I'm sure. Cold stuff's not for a while.
No,
I think. Ward underneath. Munoz misses the flush. Here comes Iowa State. Jefferson gets two time, able to spit it off to Torre. Will drive, play to finishes.
Really good play. He could probably finish that himself, but a really unselfish play. Getting it completed for the dunk on that one, but a great cut.
Dominicus has a couple of baskets. Grambling State trying to trim into this 9-point deficit here, taking some time, and a steal by Nelson. Boy, fended off the defender with his left hand and finishes with the right.
Really did, and really under control. To see how it was just a jet speed and then slowed down and controlled his speed to get it to the rim. Almost like a flyby.
Shooting has really improved for Iowa State, now at 52% after a very cold start. Munoz with the reverse.
Yeah, Nelson not quite getting there fast enough for that double team like Iowa State likes.
See those numbers here in the first half. Each team really wanting to get the ball inside to take high percentage shots. Cyclones also able to knock down a few threes, and Jefferson, that's a high percentage shot.
Well, it's a high percentage shot for him, but if you notice, he started to make his move. Here comes the double team. He keeps his dribble, retreats, gets the double team away from him, and then he goes back at it for his double move.
They go up to the high post. Jones,
Nelson,
Munoz.
yeah, Nelson much better position there defensively.
Inside of 10 on the shot clock. Ballard tries to go to the block, and a foul going to be called here on Iowa State. This is going to put the Tigers at the line. So far, they've cashed in on most of their free throw attempts. 6 of 7 from the line tonight. As Plato will pick up the foul.
Yeah, Grambling State can't ask for anything better right now. Under 2 minutes, down 13, can cut into this with clock stopped.
Here's Randarius Jones, a graduate transfer from Troy. And what a pickup. I mean, Coach Crary was talking about Randarius and how he's expecting him to have an important role with the team. And we're seeing that already as he knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1 here.
Yeah, they've done a good job. You've seen who they are. You've seen how they're trying to define themselves. You've seen their everyone in their roles a little bit. And again, Coach talked about it. We can switch out on the perimeter and keep people in front. Iowa State hasn't gotten down the paint a lot tonight. Maybe over time they will, but they've done a good enough job so far.
Tigers now 8 of 9 from the free throw line.
Taman taking his time, seeing if this double is going to come or not.
Tigers stick with the man-to-man. They switch off. Here's Buchanan, rolls it into Jefferson, and it's going to be a kick ball. Iowa State will have it with 20 on the shot clock as they'll inbound underneath their own hoop. Now Nate Heisey back out onto the floor.
Yeah, 22nd possession, bringing shooter right here. This might be Heisey, great defender. He's their defensive captain.
Jefferson able to haul that ball in. Now goes back to his left and one for Joshua Jefferson.
Really good play, and then just a little shoulder shimmy at the end, just to get Emma Fleur just off of him, just a hair.
Emma Fleur picking up the foul. Jefferson now with 8. And trying to cap off that 3-point opportunity here. Able to knock it down.
And Toure right back to the game. Iowa State going small here to match up with their guards defensively.
Grambling State been playing a lot of road games to begin this season. Picked to finish 7th in the SWAC. Underneath, just too much for Jamel Lane, who's been bottled up here tonight.
Yeah, good move, but just everything but the finish.
Here's Lipsy. Buchanan to Toure. The reverse, not there. And we're inside of a minute to play in the opening half. Ward trying to use a screen, will work it to the baseline. Good reversal. Now the 3 by Lane.
Yeah, good extra pass by Coffey the third, and a really good set your feet, Jamel Lane.
It's an 11.
Hard to pull away the way they kind of do, but Grambling State fought back. And
Their last 7 from the field.
yeah, we thought maybe 2 for 1, but 12 seconds probably not quite enough time. So they're just going to play. Iowa State's going to play 1 for 1 here. They're going to run this down and see what they want. Probably going to be ball screened by Momcilovic or Buchanan, one of the two.
Lipsy at the point. Now we see the shot clock wind inside of 8. Taman looking to go to work, fires the 3 and hits.
Now you got a guard because they can come at you and see what they do here right at the end.
Grambling State will run it ahead with Ward. Clock winding down. He'll fire. Left it short. The putback won't count, as Lane was able to get the rebound. So that is the end of the first half, and what a half. Each team shooting well, high percent.
Doing a really good job of that. And like Coach said at halftime, Grambling State doing a good job of trying to get the ball playing in the middle, in that middle third, because Iowa State loves to pin you on a side.
Jefferson 9 points, 2 rebounds in that first half, 4 of 5 from the field. And to start the second half for Grambling State, it's Ward, Lane, Emma Flue, Munoz, and Franklin. Here's Momcilovic inside of 10, the kick out. Toure for 3. Buchanan with the tough board and put back.
Yeah, that's what Buchanan does. If he hangs around that rim and starts getting some of those, catch right back in, especially over his left shoulder. He's really efficient with that, even with a body on him.
Screen able to shake free for Darius Ward as he breaks the timeline. Tigers in need of some buckets. Toure says no with the steal. Momcilovic just off the mark. Buchanan will track down another offensive board. Here's Lipsy. Momcilovic again. Little strong.
Yeah, Grambling State dodged the bullet on that one. The first one maybe a bit off balance, but that second one was just a stepping for from the line. He doesn't miss that one often.
Munoz tries to drive and is going to be fouled by Blake Buchanan, his second.
Yeah, Blake, he just jumped out a bit much on that to allow Grambling State to split that screen.
Munoz will reset the offense. Goes to Franklin. Tough shot, can't get it to fall. Toure with the board.
Yeah, great cut, good catch. Just couldn't quite finish that in traffic.
Jefferson trying to drive and is going to be fouled. A very physical game. If you're joining us late in the first half, a lot of fouls. Iowa State 9 team fouls in that first half, in which Grambling State was able to cash in at the free throw line, going 8 of 9. And here in the second half, it's stayed right at pace for physicality in the game. Jefferson shakes his defender and finishes.
Yeah, not only does he beat his defender, but then one more little shimmy at the rim and then finishes with contact. Almost an N1, but a really good job finishing at the rim with that contact. And Iowa State doing the same thing Grambling State does, just switching all over the floor, trying to keep that ball in front.
Lane shot off the mark, rebounded Jefferson. Momcilovic, guarded by Franklin. Tries to get Torre underneath. The kick back to Momcilovic, who had to go down to get the ball. And it will be off of Iowa State. So the Tigers back with the basketball. And Coach Crary working his bench a lot here so far to begin the second half. Jamil Mutalib back into the contest, first time here in the late half. Amafule drives and finishes.
Yeah, straight to what Coach McCurry said right away, leaving at the half with Abby, playing that middle third of that floor.
Damon Lipsey drives in to take contact. Iowa State, 2 at the scorers table with Heisey and Nelson. And this might be the type of game that Damon Lipsey really likes. Physical.
Well,
takes advantage of his defenders.
Well, he is that, you know, and I was here for the last game with Damon, and I'll tell you what, I think I said he's low to the ground, he's powerful, he can take a hit, he's shifty, he can move side to side. And the person sitting in your chair goes, yeah, sounds like a running back. I go, yeah, it does sound like a running back, because he can get in there and take a hit and make a pass to somebody, or he can finish by himself.
And the putback there by Jefferson.
And you can't have those on free throws. That's like special, you know, with football reference, that's like special teams. You can't have those things happen.
Well, Damon did play some quarterback at Ames High.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did about anything he wanted to at Ames High.
Lipsey to the corner. This is Heisey. Yes. And things are rolling now for Iowa State with an 18-point advantage.
Yeah, we talked about who's going to make that run out of the half and who's going to look up and see the scoreboard. Well, right now, good play there, though, by Grambling State. Way to scramble. But right now, it's Iowa State making those plays to get this to 20 in a hurry.
Amafule now with his second field goal of the game. Lipsey to Buchanan to Heisey. And he'll have that one knocked away by Darius Ward. So it'll stay with Iowa State. And each team going to their bench. As Dominic Nelson now able to check into the game. He'll be in for Lipsey. And Ricky Ballard into the contest here for Grambling State. Torre to Jefferson. Jefferson lets traffic clear, and he finds Torre. He knew that was there. He just waited.
He just waited. I mean, he saw he was a step ahead on it. He waited for the double team to clear, and then one ball fake and then to the rim. You could see it coming from the beginning. He just makes a great pass out of that.
Good poise shown by Jefferson. Looking to run it in the lane. Amafule denied by Buchanan.
Iowa State, we'll see what their subs do here. They're putting a couple guys, so they're going to switch 1 through 5 for late right now, but a great job. Jefferson poking at that ball. Buchanan coming back for that block.
Lipsey and Mulder back into the contest. Torre and Buchanan get a nice hand as they exit stage right.
Here comes a switch.
The three, good, knocked down by Roderick Coffey. Grambling State 3 of 7 from downtown. Here's Lipsey on the drive and finish.
Yeah, turn the corner down the middle. Grambling State couldn't wall up Taman on that one.
Lane picked up by Jefferson. In traffic, and now a foul will be called here on Iowa State.
Yeah, Lane, good tough drive right there.
So this will bring us to a timeout on the floor. Iowa State picking it up on both ends of the floor. And it helps with good passing like that from Jefferson. And Taman missed a couple of exhibition games due to a nagging injury. Coach Otzelberger said to us prior to the game he's at 100% right now, and his body really responded to that, taking some time off.
Yeah, that was one question I thought was important. Was he had practiced just enough to get into the game, but is he game shape? Does he have his wind? Do you have your legs? And then if you haven't for a game, then how does it respond in the next day or two or three going into that next game? And he said he had no ill effects, but that just comes from being a veteran player, knowing how to handle your body, knowing what you need, rest, hydration, all of those things. And he's a pro not only on the floor, but he's a pro off of it as well.
Mulder just picked up the foul. Iowa State with 3 team fouls here in the late half. And now a foul away from the ball. This goes against Grambling State and Richard Umafule.
I didn't see it. I'm sure there's some extracurricular activities they would like to say.
And he's going to be spelled by Mookie Fitz, the 6'7" junior out of Birmingham, Alabama, into the contest for the first time. So Ricky Ballard will re-enter.
You know, we talked about the transfers. We've seen a lot of them, but Mookie Fitz, the only junior college player really in their top 9 or 10 that have played in the exhibition game, or I'm sorry, their opener and then tonight.
Jefferson in the paint. Mulder will finish.
That's why he shot 76% from the field and led the nation at Fort Wayne when you do those things right there. He's a long, bouncy, athletic body, and he can get on guard on these ball screens and get back and help.
So for the Tigers, out on the floor, Coffey, Ballard, Blaine, Franklin, and Fitz. Here's Fitz, caught up by Mulder, and will be tied up. Possession arrow is going to keep it.
Mulder, great job of tying up that ball, but when Jefferson came in the double team, and I think it was Makey who tried to turn into it, had to turn back right into Mulder, who tied up that basketball. So great play by Jefferson to get it back to Mulder.
Tigers maintain the possession, 8 on the shot clock, and what a slip screen. As able to find the ball was Ricky Ballard, but got freed up with a solid screen.
Yeah, beat me to it. A solid screen, and then he saw Iowa State trying to cheat it. He just slipped to the rim, but a great pass. You have to have a great pass from that out of bounds play.
Here's Nelson. Draws contact, will go to the line to shoot 2. Foul going to be on Roderick Coffey III.
We've talked about Nelson a little bit. We've talked about north-south, but like right there, when he makes a quick ball fake, he is going to the rim, and that is where he puts his head down and he goes. So he's gotten to the rim a couple times tonight, not by messing around with the basketball, but quick, hard ball fakes and going. Struggled a little bit at the line here tonight, but those things that he'll clean up as he goes, just being a young player in this program.
Buchanan back out on the floor. In for Mulder. Nelson misses both as Grambling State able to track down the rebound. Tigers look to go to work. Here's Ballard. Just put his head down and went right to the hoop and drew contact.
Yeah, just kind of got off that screen and caught it and just ripped and went. Didn't mess around, didn't dance with the ball, didn't put it between his legs, just got that thing from his right shoulder to his left knee and went hard. And what do you get from that? Well, maybe an N1, but he does get to go to the line here and shoot 2. Really tough play by Ricky Ballard.
This is the front end. Iowa State back to their bench. Killian Toure back in. Also coming back in is Plata. And for one shot at the line, Ricky Ballard again. And missed it.
Minimum 4 missed free throws in a row from this game.
And Heisey takes a hard knock to the head as he had the breakout, running the flyer out, connected from Jefferson. And let's see, Heisey here just take one right on the head.
He does that. I don't know what position Joshua Jefferson's father played in the NFL, but quarterback may have been one of them. See, he looked good on that one. Hit him right in stride.
Heisey was checked out by the officials, and hasn't really been a free throw clinic for either team over the last 5 shots.
No, 5 missed for sure. I can't think before that, but I know it's 5. If we start getting to my second hand, I'll start struggling with the count. But I hope that goes. There we go.
And Heisey will check out. Coming in is going to be Jamarian Bateman. We had some big moments for Iowa State in that first half. It was tight. Bateman able to connect on a couple of 3-pointers.
Yeah, he had 2 great just step-ins from great passes from his teammates. But loves to guard that shooting. When he gets that going, more of a complete player by the minute.
Underneath, Jefferson denies. And it was tipped off of a Tiger.
Great play, great execution. Grambling State got the ball where they wanted it. Length, activity, size is what put that out of bounds. In the SWAC, that's probably a basket or maybe an end one for Grambling State. So really good execution by McCurry and his team.
That's the 4th block of the night for Iowa State. Lipsy, skip pass, Bateman. And a foul away from the ball before the shot. Goes against Iowa State. An illegal screen, and now we're going to see a technical. There are some extra words from Ricky Ballard and from the bench of Grambling State. Let's watch it. Again, Plato with the illegal screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure he got the call.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't think he was going to get the call. I don't know that. Either way, Coach McCurry doesn't like to see that. So there'll be I'm assuming a nice teaching moment on that at some point between now and when they watch the film.
Jefferson able to hit the first free throw and knocks down the second technical. Well, kind of interesting. You got the call, and you must have said something extra.
Yeah. And I think it was directed at the official as opposed to Dominicus.
So Grambling State will have the ball back. Cyclones being led by Jefferson's 15-10 for Lipsy. And a steal by Iowa State. Out ahead, Torre. Had it knocked free. And Torre trying to get it back. Grambling State back up with it. Mutilly. He'll drive in. And a foul here on the Cyclones. It'll be on Lipsy.
I'm not sure a camera angle is going to let us in on that one. At least the one we got. Now everybody in Hilton had a great view of that play, and they're expressing it right now that they saw it.
Each team with 16 fouls. And the free throw knocked down by Jamil. So Nate Heisey back out onto the floor. He'll check in for Jefferson.
Yeah, both teams in the 1-and-1 with 13 to go, so that means we're here for a while.
Utaleave able to knock that one down. And Jamel Lane back out on the floor.
Grambling going to try to change tempo, change demeanor, going to come out in the little 1-3-1 here again, see what this turns into zone-wise. There's a switch up front, so you have Lipsy on a big.
Torre drawing contact and will go to the line.
Doesn't matter man or zone, you get to the paint and you get your feet set, good things normally happen. And Trey was a really good job there. Trey did, I'm sorry. Turning that corner, getting downhill, getting those feet set, and getting up.
So Jones will pick up the foul. And Tora, you like free throws.
Love free throws.
We're going to see a lot. You're right.
Yeah, we're going to see some. But with the physicality of these two teams, I think we're going to see our share of free throws in the last 12:46.
First free throw of the season for Torre, and he's able to knock it down. And Killian there to shoot two. And able to hit both.
And Iowa State pushing up. Now backing off a little bit. But Bateman and Torrey won't back off much. They love being on that ball just like that.
He's got 6, going for 8. The hard spin to his right, and will go to the line to shoot 2 more. And that'll be the second personal foul called on Darius Ward, and the 8th team foul here on Grambling State. Bateman at the line. That's his first free throw of the season. Able to hit both.
It doesn't matter who brings it from Grambling State, because you're going to see Toure, you're going to see Bateman, you're going to see Lipsy, you might see Heisey, and all of those guys can guard and really get after the ball.
They go with the double team. Munoz has it knocked away. Last touch by Iowa State. So the Tigers will have it underneath their own hoop with 11 seconds to go on the shot clock.
Yep, and Iowa State's small here, so when that ball comes in, well, they start switching right away in any late type of ball screen action.
Working it up top with Coffey. Shot clock winding down. In the paint, the pump fake. Can't get the bucket. Munoz trying to put it right back up. Bateman will sky and get the board.
Good job. Play doing a good job. Just going straight up and just having his size make an effect. Don't have to reach and put your hands down and do all that. That's an automatic foul. Did a great job of being straight up.
Here's Heisey. He'll go to the line to shoot 2, but we've got a timeout on the floor. 11:44 to play. Iowa State leads it. Conference basketball on display. How about this? Number 19 Kansas playing 25th ranked North Carolina. And then also on ESPN Plus tomorrow night, 10th ranked Texas Tech will host Sam Houston.
Yeah, Kansas, North Carolina. There's a logo game for you when it comes to men's college hoops.
For sure. And Texas Tech out to a great start again.
For sure.
As they've reloaded. Heisey able to knock down the free throw here. 68-41. Iowa State with 38 points in the paint tonight. And now picking it up at the foul line. As out on the floor for the Cyclones, it's Heisey, Bateman, Lipsy, Buchanan, and Toure. For Grambling State, Ward, Coffey, Ballard, Lane, and Amafule. And Lipsy with the steal. Behind the back, and the finish by Toure. And a timeout going to be taken here by the Tigers.
Really strong on the ball, come up that ball screen, and then Taman just timed it from the backside, trying to run and go that. I'm assuming it's what we're going to see. Already got to that point, but just a great give. But you got to run with him, and Toure did that.
30-point lead for Iowa State, but this is how they got to that advantage. Look at the turnovers and those points off of turnovers.
Yeah, that number has just continued to climb, we've tried to use, or at least I have, BJ, the big word of cumulative, and Iowa State's defense just has that cumulative effect. It starts out, maybe you can beat it some, but they're going to get their share, and then they just slowly grind into you, and we've definitely seen that this game.
And a foul going to be called here on Buchanan, as Antonio Munoz was driving in. And Buchanan going to pick up his 4th.
Well, that's one thing TJ Altsberger had said after the second game. He's trying to find Buchanan more minutes and more minutes, but he's had some foul trouble, not only in the exhibition games, but in the opener and then tonight. So that some foul trouble with Buchanan has turned to rear their ugly head a little bit. So they have their depth. Iowa State does. They like playing it, but they sure want to give Buchanan some more minutes and some more time in this program.
Eric Mulder back out on the floor. Munoz able to connect on the free throw. Lipsy looking to go to work. Bateman will rise and fire. And Torre, a steal. It's back in for Iowa State. And Heisey going to be called for steps.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he wanted to drive that or quick swing. So he had both options, just got caught in between.
Well, Abby Altman standing by as it's been a... Now, what'd you find out?
Yeah, listening to that last Iowa State huddle, it seemed like half the coaching staff joined in, and they each shared the common theme of keep the heat, keep the pressure, and stay disciplined in what we do. They mentioned that a large chunk of Grambling's points come from the foul line and stressed not giving up those points with unnecessary fouls.
Thanks, Abby. As Bateman will go back to the line again, and good to see Jameel Lane back up.
Yeah, went down hard on that one.
As Bateman just on the opener, 13 of 22 at the line here for Iowa State. And each team in the bonus as Mulder nearly got the board. And looking to drive in was Lane. And a foul going to be called here on Iowa State. Initially, the signal from Kip Kissinger was a travel. And so a foul here called on Iowa State. So to the line goes Jameel Lane. And he connects on the front end of the 1-and-1.
Yeah, as the crowd saw that replay, showed some emotion. I thought TJ Altsberger was very diplomatic.
Here's the 40th free throw of the night. And Jefferson able to get the board. These two teams wanted to be physical coming into this one.
Yeah, and Grambling coming back out, switching up to that zone again. Let's see if Iowa State can get it back to the paint. Instead, a little bit of a misdirection three. And that Iowa State coaching staff was saying something for a reason. They were saying, stay after him, stay after him, stay after him, because Grambling State will keep coming after you for the next 10 minutes.
Now Jefferson. Lipsy for three. Jefferson had the board for a moment, but got his pocket picked there by Roderick Coffey.
Yeah, shot didn't go there for Lipsy, but just a fantastic one-handed, left-handed pass by Jefferson.
Munoz looking to work with a screen and able to connect.
A very smooth freshman out of Whitney Young in Chicago. He just continues to impress.
Yeah, Coach Curry saying he has no fear, and he's shown it.
Again, back in that zone, trying to disrupt, using the length to get in those passing lanes.
Jefferson will square.
But when in doubt, throw it there. Because Joshua Jefferson can do that, and that was a feather too. That hit the front of the rim. Those usually don't go. It just popped straight up in the air and dropped in.
17 points tonight for Jefferson. Munoz able to distribute it to Coffey. The kick around. Amafule is shot off the mark. And into press row goes Roderick Coffey.
Yeah, Iowa State, all kinds of pressure there. The back cut finally loosened up Iowa State a little bit to get the shot, even though it didn't go. But here we have some Cyclones coming in and out of the game.
And Momcilovic is back in. Nelson back in. Joined by Mulder, Lipsy, and Jefferson. Grambling State with Coffey, Lane, Munoz, Franklin, and Jones. Here's Momcilovic. This will go to the Tigers.
Yeah, extra pass to the corner of Momcilovic versus that zone. They're trying to get to the corner. A lot of those corner shots, when that pass is coming from the top, is a little bit different than when it's coming from the paint or from that basket area. You're stepping away from the basket and then towards it as opposed to just at it.
Munoz on the drive.
Very impressive.
Continues to attack the basket. Lipsy to Jefferson. Now to Nelson. Wide of the mark as Lipsy tracks down the rebound.
Shot clock doesn't reset. Do they see it? Yes. Great extra pass.
Good reversal. Jefferson's three. Got it.
Even though it started with an air ball, that was one of their best possessions. They got it to the interior, made an interior pass, one more than another, and then one more skip for the three.
Munoz again tries to put his shoulder down, will take contact, and will head to the line.
Yeah, Jefferson doing a great job here from Grambling State. I'll tell you what, you are watching Big 12 basketball on ESPN+.
What a night tonight so far for Joshua Jefferson.
Yeah, the young man at the line, though, has been impressive. So talking about efficiency, 11 points, now 12 on just 7 shots. And you look at it, 5 assists, only 2 turnovers. A freshman playing against the 16th team in the country in this building and in this atmosphere. So very impressive night for Antonio Munoz.
Yeah, leading the way. Missed that free throw. In fact, head coach Patrick Prairie said, you know, people just missed on him in recruiting.
Agreed. Back to that zone, trying to stay aggressive. But if that ball can get to the paint, a lot of good things can happen, like right there. Just didn't finish. But look who's Johnny on the spot and comes up with that.
Damon Lipsy to Buchanan. Skipped him on Chilovich. Shot off the mark, and the rebound to the Tigers. See the three-point numbers in the second half. Franklin. High archer can't get at the fall. Buchanan with the board. He's out on the floor with 4 fouls. Here's Nelson. Oh, what a finish.
Yeah, big time two-handed outlet pass there by Buchanan. Almost Wes Unseld like for a 70s reference for some of the more mature viewers tonight.
I got you. Here's Munoz. Jones had to take it away.
Yeah, Momcilovic, good job of rotating down.
Underneath, Nelson can't get the bunny. Playing out ahead for Grambling State. Here's Munoz to reset with the shot clock at 12. Sees the double team, goes up high to Jones. Now the three, Lane off the mark. And the rebound to Momcilovic, who's going to be fouled by Franklin. So Milan will come down at the other end and shoot some free throws.
Right there, this? Great two-handed outlet pass, and just a catch one dribble quick finish. Games like this, you have to get back to give yourself a chance. Just got caught in the middle right there of who's going and who is getting back. Again, I'm sorry, but in a lot of these early games, a lot of teaching moments. In and out of the game, how we're reacting to our teammates, how we're reacting to officials, who's getting back, who's going to the rim, all of those things. So it's early, a lot of different lineups. And this is a physical game. It's really been good to watch, even though Iowa State is starting to stretch it here.
And Chilovich able to connect on both free throws. Now with 8. Munoz will drive in. What creativity.
Great creativity, great spin, and then offhand finish. I was worried he was going to do a bit too much driving to a pack of people. He slithered through it with his spin.
Torre has it nearly taken away. Milan quickly covered up along the baseline. Nelson in the paint.
Milan, drive it to make a play for your teammates. Everyone's going to come to you, look at you, and then Nelson just cuts behind the defense for a catch finish. Great timing, both players.
Here's a 3 by Ward.
There he had his feet set, throw one in. Munoz again driving to that left. It's the second time out of about the last 3 or 4 possessions he's found a wide open player in the corner with some overhelp by Iowa State.
Milan left alone. Buries it.
Well, he had 7 last game. I'm sure the scout was don't let him have any open ones. So Grambling's got to get a little bit better on that one.
His 3rd here tonight. Chilovich with 11. Munoz, his shot. Off the mark. Jefferson had the board. And Momcilovic will track it down. Nelson puts his head down and will draw contact. And that'll bring us to a timeout on the floor. 3:51 to play. Cyclones in command as you're watching Big.
It'll be interesting as they scrimmage, or I'm sorry, have the secret scrimmage every year.
Yeah.
And then this year you can add the games to your season ticket package for an exhibition game. So they play live in front of everybody. Now they turn right around and play each other again out in Las Vegas. So that'll be interesting to see rotations, who plays, who hasn't. Did they hide anything? We'll find out.
Yeah, I mean, if you know that you're going to turn around and play them, how much do you show in an exhibition?
I think you go play hard as you can, get as many combinations on the floor as you can, and then it'll be totally different when you play them. So I'm assuming that's what they're thinking.
Torre for 3.
Yeah, he's gotten a little bit better at making those standstills. So the way he defends and makes standstills, there's nothing wrong with that combination because he is a long, active athlete on that basketball.
5 Cyclones in double figures. Jefferson leading the way with 20, 11 from Momcilovic and Torre, 10 each for Lipsy and Nelson. And Iowa State will go to their bench. As the Cyclones see Cade Kelderman come into the contest for the first time. Also Bateman back in, joined by Heisey. Mulder out on the floor. And Xavion Mitchell in for the first time too. The freshman out of Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And right away Munoz will drive in.
Taking advantage of the ball screen defense wasn't quite good enough of walling up that dribbler coming off, and he just turned the corner and got right to the rim and got fouled.
So Munoz to the line again. Now with 15 in the contest. He leads the way for Grambling State. No other player in double figures. Now with 16, had 12 in the opener. So a good start to his collegiate career.
A good start for the freshman for Whitney Young High School out of Chicago. Storied program. He's done well. He's still fighting, and Grambling's put up a good fight tonight, just not enough for the number 16 team in the country.
Iowa State with the shot clock winding down. have it deflected out. Cyclones will keep the ball. Good hands by Coach.
Yeah, great hands by Coach.
6 on the shot clock. Mitchell with it winding down. Here's Kelderman for 3. The tip up not there. Mulder will clean it up.
There you go. Great pass by Mitchell on that one.
Mulder with 4 points tonight. Uno's underneath the reverse, and Amafole able to crank one in. Bateman on the interior. Mitchell picks up the loose ball to Kelderman. Mitchell for 3. Xavion checking into the scoring column. That's his first points as a Cyclone.
Quick dead ball. I think we had some water over there, and you know, who throws the towel to Kip Kissinger but Taman Lipsy. But Kelderman, great extra pass, really good feet. Great 3 Cyclones. Mitchell, great job of that catch and finish with the 3.
Grambling State, Chancellor Perkins back into the game, the second stint out on the floor. And Jamil Mutalib able to knock down the shot.
Yeah, good pull up right there.
Kelderman to Mitchell at the top.
Another one.
He's knocking it down.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And Kelderman's found him a couple times now. Great combination right there from those 2 guys.
Iowa State 2 away from the century mark. Kelderman with the board. Mulder guarded up on the perimeter tightly by Mekhi Fitz, who will pick up the foul, and now Mulder will go to the line and an opportunity to hit the century mark. And now just a point away from 100. Still at 99 and maybe a possession to do it.
Yeah, I think they'll have one more crack at it.
This layup good on this end by Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin, good drive, good finish with his left.
Anthony Rise waiting at the scorer's table, trying to get in. Here's
They need
Mitchell.
1, but he's going to try to give them 3.
And a rebound to Grambling State. Franklin. It's wide of the mark, and the rebound to Mulder. There is a difference in shot clock to game clock. Here's Rise.
Yeah, they're going to give him one more chance here.
Bateman's 3. Good!
Oh boy. Oh boy.
.102 to 61, and Mulder going to be called for the foul as Plata will look to check into the game, and he'll come in for Mulder.
Just sized him up and a good shot by Bateman.
So at the line, Nazar Mahmoud. And Plata will come in for Mulder now officially. Iowa State had some struggles early on in this game. And in fact, Grambling State took a lead after Iowa State jetted out to a 5-point advantage. And now the Cyclones are going to come away with a 40-point victory to move to 2-0 on the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it gets out at halftime, but I'll tell you what, Grambling State had a lot of fight tonight, never gave in, has some good players, some good young players, and a lot of new players on the team. They're still trying to figure out who they are and where they're going to be. They know their identity, but it wasn't enough. Iowa State